Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the post-game show. Chandler North, Peter Ferreri, and the CCIW championship winning coach, J.W. Kieckhefer. Coach, not the first, not the last. Congratulations.
I appreciate that, Peter. Thank you very much. Just really proud of this group. I think we were down 8-2 there, maybe set one, and I think it was 7 of our errors, maybe 8 of our errors that gave them points. So not the start we drew up, that's for dang sure. But, man, we just talked about how elite this group is to not let that ruin their day and to stay in it and find ways to build the Carthage volleyball and to turn a match from what it started for us to what it ended like for us. It's hard to do. That was in an hour of volleyball that we went from being pretty dang mediocre to one of the best teams in the country. And so the belief this team has in each other, the way our bench finds solutions for the guys on the court and helps to give them feedback. The way we serve off the bench with Kelly and Joe Kolowitz, Ethan got in, made a great block touch there. Just the contribution from everybody across the board is just so elite. So it's not just the guys on the court, it's this entire team finding solutions, believing in each other, bringing the energy and bringing the vibes and setting the tone from the beginning of warm-ups. So just really proud of the group and how we responded to some adversity today and found a way to win.
Yeah, great stuff. And you started to hit on it a little bit there in set one, but I'm not sure if you saw these two stats. So one, the poise your group had to not just take that punch to that 6-2, 6-1 start or whatever it was, but Wesleyan hit 370 in the first set.
Yeah.
They did hand you guys 10 missed serves, and majority of those were when it got to the 20s. What was the difference from 2020 on that you saw from your group versus Wesleyan? Like, how do you create that type of culture or performance? Once it got to 20s, you guys were lights out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think part of it is the championship culture that we have and the deep runs we've made over our careers here is we believe that we can find a way to win, and it's not just about 0-0 or down 6-2. It's about just kind of competing through the moment and getting to 2020 and then finding the play you need to make. And we just talk about like creating internal shot charts in your head and trying to figure out what that guy's doing on the other side of the net to be ready for a big moment. When you got, a setter and then 5 guys out there, all 5 of them can score at any moment, it makes it really hard for a defense to defend you. And so we just had to get going. So I think that the confidence comes from how elite this team is, how athletic they are, and how much they communicate and trust each other, both from the bench into the court. It's just about talking about we'll find a way, we'll find a run. You got to believe it. And we've done that really well here down the stretch after that loss to Loris and almost lost to North Central there. We've really done a great job of coming together as a unit, trusting each other, and doing the little things, being disciplined. It's going to pay off. We talk about that a lot, right? Carthage volleyball, the defensive scouting report, the little things that we do as a system to just buy into it and fully buy into Carthage volleyball, the brand, what we do, and understand that it's just going to wear people down throughout a match. So, just believing in what we do, doing it really disciplined, and then when it shows up at 2020, you're going to make those plays because we're in it all match long.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe a couple tactical questions there. I am always impressed with the scout and level of details you guys have. So, Ben Heist, he stepped into serve receive there a little bit in set one. Yeah. Was that to settle in the new guys that have came into the starting lineup here? Is that a weapon that you see? Was it something you saw from the service line? Tell me about that maneuver to have him back down first contact.
Ben's a really good passer for opposite hitter, and being left-handed, he's grown up only being an opposite, right? So he wasn't being trained to pass a whole ton younger. And he's just a really good passer, and we don't use it a whole ton, particularly against the spin serve. We don't use it a whole ton, but we know we have it in the bank, and so we've been talking about that a lot coming down the stretch, is not being afraid to get Ben in there. Ryan Monahan is doing such a great job to solidify and really help out Ona Hendricks, who's going through some things right now with an injury. But he's really done a great job of learning how to spin serve pass and getting better in that skill, but it's something he's really working on. And so we just wanted to be aggressive in using that today. We got beat up pretty good at their place a week ago in spin reception. So we just wanted to be more aggressive with Ben today and making sure that he was used to help our reception pattern out. We know we can pass. We trust his passing, and he's done it before for us. So, just wanted to be aggressive with it in big moments and not wait around too late.
Yeah, I like that wrinkle, and it was a good tweak there, and I almost think it helped O'Callahan, too, who passed really well, especially in that second and third set. Another one for you. So the opposite attack for Wesleyan, obviously, I mean, those guys are touching, what, 11-5, 11-6?
Probably higher than that. We're touching that on our side of the net, and they're over us. So,
crazy. So I'm curious. I noticed you guys were still setting those high balls out of system nice and tight, and I was amazed with how your guys made smart decisions from recycles, scoring with the swipe, swinging when it was there, just like the poise and the control and ownership of the net. Like, how do you teach that? Did you hesitate to that game plan at all because of the size across the net in that position? Talk me through the strategy that went into getting ready for that matchup and then being successful in that matchup.
Yeah, you know, we're going to buy into what we do really, really well and not care who's on the other side of the net, no matter what size or physicality they have. We're going to buy into what makes us great and what we do well, and we train at a high level. I think, you know, we've been doing that. We hadn't done that well early in the season, is get to the net and use the jams. We wanted to do that more than we had been doing early in the season, so that's more of just an adjustment to get back to what we train and what we do. We've done a lot of work in that out of system, chaos, whatever you want to call it, phase to be really good in it. And I think it's really shown up here late in the year of being okay to recycle, understanding a recycle play, understanding a swipe play, understanding a swing play, and just being really, again, disciplined as to what that set looks like. Like the setter sets it up in the air and they're able to communicate what that ball is going to be early, right? Like telling them to swipe it, telling them to recycle it.
Yeah.
Just communicate, out of your hands, communicate. You're the one, as the setter, you know if it's good or not. Being able to communicate to that hitter early what the ball is so it can help them make a decision up high with what they want to do with it. So we train it a lot. Obviously, they do it a lot too. So it was one of those jungle play days where both teams are trying to set it tight and jam it. And yeah, we're probably a little more experienced with it, but they do it really, really well too. So a pretty good match at the net. A bunch of big athletes up there, up high, trying to make some plays. So yeah, we're going to buy into what we do well. We're not going to back down from anybody and their pressure and their size, and we're going to play Carthage volleyball and go win there.
Yeah, you did a great job with it. It was very impressive, Coach.
Coach, when we look at now, hosting in a week, going to be back home, what do the next few days look like? What's the camaraderie? What's the conversations going to be leading into the path now, once again, to get banner number 3?
Yeah, you know, we've played Wednesday, Saturday pretty, you know, exclusively here for a couple months now. So a different week for us playing Friday, Saturday. So it's going to, you know, we usually get a chance to recover Monday and then recover Thursday. And so just a different week plan. We got to what we want to do with it and how we want to adjust what we do on the weekly basis to be ready for the Friday, Saturday. You know, it's hard to play back-to-back days. There's a reason there's a day in between the Final Four and the finals to get both teams ready to go play at a high level. So we just got to do a really smart job recovering, get a good lift in Monday, but then really work on the recovery phase of that and be ready to go play on Mondays or on Saturdays, or excuse me, Friday. It's the tournament's weird with regional rounds, and there's 2 teams playing in your facility on Thursday before you play on Friday. So it's a weird week in many different ways. You know, but we're lucky the CCIW is so talented this year to play that team in the conference finals, to play them 2 weeks in a row on the way out, to get a NCAA tournament team, and I hope they make it. They deserve it. They're really good at volleyball. So I hope nothing surprises anybody and they get to get in. But, like, you know, for us, it's about what we can do in our side of the net and focus on getting ready for Friday, Saturday. So weird week. We'll talk about how we want to handle it, but these guys are experienced. We did it last year. We were able to make it last year, so and it was here. So it's cool to get to host. You know, you saw all the students here today. It was a packed gym. It was a loud gym, I thought, too. The energy was elite. Sure. So really thankful to the Carthage community. Really thankful to Ryan Kane and Dr. John Swallow and Mark White and Devin Breivik for all that they do for our program to get the students here and get them out. And we're hopeful that we can get another awesome student body on Friday for our match and, you know, see if we can make a run. I think what we told the guys in the locker room is the ability to go from mediocre to elite in one match really speaks volumes for what we can do in the tournament. If you're able to turn from a mediocre team to an elite team within the same match, you've got a chance to go do something special. I think earlier in the year we kind of just tried to grind through medium days and stayed there and just saw if we could find a win. And today we went from being not great to being elite. And that's what it takes to win a national championship. Can you be mediocre, but then know you're going to turn it, stay focused enough to turn it, stay disciplined enough to turn it, and then run your way out. So a lot of things have shown up here in the last couple of weeks that you need to have to go win a national championship, whether it's different ways to win. We can win from the baseline. We can win with our offense. We can win with our defense. We can win with our blocking. Like, there's so many ways we can win in system, out of system. And that's another thing you have to win a national championship. It's not going to be pretty in every phase every day. And so I thought we showed that today as we were pretty elite in system offense today as it kind of climbed. And I thought we dug the ball pretty well today. We dug it better probably at their place last week, but we dug the ball really well again today. So showing and having ability to win different ways is massive in the NCAA tournament, and I think we showed that the last couple weeks. Coach,
love the conversation. Best of luck. We'll see you in a few days here for the NCAA tournament.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Chandler. Go Birds.